Hey YouTube, it's the Ish9 here, aka the Gearhead, and I believe I've finally washed out my ears enough to do the Soundcore some justice. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything out the way first and start off by saying the guerrilla warfare tactics that these guys showed at being aggressive in their marketing and really believing in their product and pushing it. I mean, I saw these things everywhere. I never even went to a website involving the Soundcores, and they were still coming up via Google AdSense on various website sites that I go to frequent audio equipment and audio gear. These things just kept coming up. And then when I saw many YouTube reviewers get them, obviously I spoke to a few different guys, Ike, and a few other people that I knew prior that got them. And, I kind of took it for a grain of salt. But, at the end of the day, you got to get things and you got to try it out yourself. One thing about audio is it's so subjective sometimes. It's difficult to find the right words to say certain things and kind of convey certain messages to people about how you feel about sound and the quality of sound that you're getting from something until a person tries it. So I went ahead and purchased these a couple weeks ago. Check my unboxing if you haven't checked that out just yet. And I got to tell you, I'm impressed by these. Now, it does have some caveats to it, and I'm going to go ahead and explain it right now. The sound signature of the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros, to me, did nothing for me. I mean, it kind of sounded similar to many different headphones that I've heard before. No different from buying any generic brand off of the rack for $30, $40, $50 and pair it to your device and just go. You get the sound, you get some audio coming out of it. No problem. But I did not like that sound signature that they had on there. It was a little bit dull, a little bit hollow, and kind of flat a little bit. But I guess they kind of were going for a balanced sound. And to me, it didn't sound balanced at all. It was different than what I was listening to as far as reference goes. So when I listen to my music play tracks via reference audio headphones and the highest quality of music players and such, it just wasn't reproducing it the way that I wanted it to sound when I listened to the Soundcores and I listened back on my soundtracks. Where these things shine, where these things really shine is they shine via the features. All the features that you get with Soundcore is top notch, and the customizations are no joke. So I'm going to start here with the fit. I have here some Deconi Comply tips that I put on there, and they've been taking really good care of me. The given tips that they give in there are good enough as well. I did use those for quite a while, almost 2 weeks now, and I can tell you that those work just fine. The seal and the fit on these is insane. I mean, this little cupping grip here that it has, you see how it has that concave curvature there? It just fits into the ear so nice and lovely. I can tell you that majority of almost anyone's ears can get around that. And it'll fit in your ear perfectly, and it'll give you a great seal. Most headphones suffer from having a lack of a good seal. These give you one of the best seals I've ever had on a true wireless headphones. I mean, even my the wingtips on the Google Pixel Buds hurt my ears after a prolonged period of time of using it. Maybe about a minute to maybe about an hour to an hour and a half. I kind of start feeling a little bit soreness, even though it's small. These right here, this is just very comfortable. Very comfortable. Love it. So in order to really utilize these headphones to the best of their capabilities, you kind of got to get into that application. First thing first, jump into that application. Like I said, just using the buds, you're just going to get standard bud usage and standard bud operations. Soundcore is boasting HearID ANC and HearID audio. And I got to tell you, that's no joke. Because it's using HearID technologies, I can objectively say that you're going to get the best sound signature for you. And that's objective because it's utilizing your ability to actually hear the frequencies. So that's the best way to go about it. If you can hear the frequencies, then your audio experience is going to be the best that it can be reproduced for you personally. And that personalization is something that you don't get with a lot of other buds and a lot of other headphones. Can't really argue with that. You got 32 hours of playback time, high res near playback using LDAC. That's about 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz. That's high resolution audio and 6 mics for microphone calls. Had no issues with the microphones. Everything works great there. I'm going to mostly focus on my audio because that's why I bought them. So let me get into the application here and really show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to freehand this a little bit, so bear with me. So this is what the standard application is going to look like. You're going to get a normal use mode when you first open up the bud. So you kind of got to go in there every time and connect it to the audio the audio preference that you would like. So the sound effects hearing ID and then the HearID test. You want to go into that HearID test and be honest about what you can and cannot hear so you can get the most optimized sound experience for you. Not only does it do it in general with your ability to hear, but it also does it with the noise cancellation. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can go into the noise cancellation mode here with HearID and get the best optimized noise cancellation that I've ever seen. Just phenomenal. And I'm using the Google Pixel 6 Pro as well alongside of that. Brief review of that coming soon. Wind noise reduction, and it does have 3D audio. Not a fan of 3D audio too much. Don't like to use that very often, but it does have it for those of you that want it. Here you can go into the LDAC mode as well as the connection quality mode. One thing about the LDAC mode is that there's a bit of a latency sometimes. You might suffer a little bit from connection issues. Something to keep in mind. Obviously, it's going to vary from person to person. So it's really that HearID that I'm boasting here. Here you can see I have my HearID sound on, the 3D sound effects. It cannot be used with LDAC. That's a bummer. Then you have the default sound and then you have the customizable sound. The HearID sound is so well optimized that even when I went into the custom and I EQ'd my own sound presettings, it's obvious that what they're providing you with the HearID is more lush, it's more vivid, and it's a lot more pleasant to listen to. So if you're going to use the Liberty 3 Pros, the best thing that you need to do is you need to go ahead on and set up that HearID, because that thing is no joke. Get your tips right, get that seal going, and you're going to have something magical. You're going to have something magical on your hands. Pretty much no issues. The charging capabilities and the speed in which it charges is all fine. I originally felt like this case was going to be a little bit loose because it felt kind of flimsy there. There was a time where it did kind of slide open in my pocket, and once it slides open, it automatically connects to whatever last device you had it connected to. Just something I had to deal with, you know, slid it back and everything's fine. Other than that, everything seems to be well optimized with the application. It's very simple and straightforward. It'll connect to all of your Soundcore different buds and different devices that you can have connected to it. Controls are pretty basic. Let's take a look at those controls. Again, freehanding it, bear with me. So the controls are very customizable. You can set up how you want your volume. You can set up which taps you want. For there's Ike Tech Talk right there. He's about to go live. I'm gonna check him out. If you guys haven't checked him out, you need to go ahead. He does a live stream every Thursday. every Thursday, just talking tech and just talking in general about different things and different products. He also has a pair of these, and he's the one that convinced me to grab them. So as you can see here, everything is on the up and up, and it's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward controls there. Everything is accurate. There's very little to no latency on anything, at least from what I've experienced. And so far, just very pleasant to use. If these right now are going for about $170, if you're looking for a pair of buds and you're looking for accuracy and you're looking for pretty much the best sound that you can get for you, I do recommend these because of that HearID. And objectively speaking, it's something that you can't really argue with when it comes to your ability to actually hear sound. As far as signature sounds go, when you got your Sonys, you got your Bose, what else is out there? Bang & Olufsen's signature sounds. Other companies do it better. Other major brand companies kind of do signature sounds better. They sound a lot better, and they have pretty much their own flair to it. Whereas the Soundcore, to me, at least this pair, didn't have anything noticeable to it at all when it came to their own signature sound. But that HearID is something that you can't argue with. This is easily becoming one of my favorite buds that I've bought this year, and I see why they really stack themselves up against the best. I do intend to do a comparison video with these to try to give everybody a better understanding of how it stacks up to my current buds and my current setup. Gave my Sennheisers away to my uncle. He needed a new pair, so maybe I'll grab another pair of Sennheisers, and I'll do a head-to-head with those as well, because those also have a great sound presentation of their own as well. And these here are providing just their own uniqueness, man. With that HearID, that's going to be for the win. I do see that in the future coming to a lot of other buds. A lot of other buds next year need to get on board with that HearID and provide, you know, their own unique style, their own signature style to that HearID, and bring it, man, because these things, they really brought the thunder. Shout out to Soundcore. Shout out to Ike. Shout out to the whole Team 100 and everybody that supported me this year. I've been having a really great time making some of these videos for you guys. I'm really busy, and you know, sometimes I'm not able to put out the information that I want to put out as often as I would like to. But you know, just being able to touch base and see what everybody's doing and see what everybody's liking about the tech and the audio world as well, it's just been a pleasure. So thanks for watching, and any questions down in the comments section, I would love to answer. If anybody has these, I would also like to know their experience and their likes and dislikes of these. If you want to respond with a video, that'd be cool as well, or just drop a comment down in the comment section. Thanks.